Hey, Planeswalkers, Mythras here. Hope you're doing well and staying safe. Welcome, my friends. Today's episode of Top Deck, we are covering a Selesnya counters deck. So this was a very popular archetype previously, again, showing some promise. Happy to take a look at it here today. This one is a Platinum to Mythic 6+ win deck here that we're going to drill into. So appreciate you tuning in. Flip me a like if you enjoyed today's video. If you have questions, if you have comments throughout, please let me know. Happy to help. Additionally, this deck list is available for you down below in the description. You also have access to the timestamps there where we will cover the strategy objective of this list. We'll cover your best of 3 boarding. We'll play that competitive Magic here today in both best of 1 and best of 3. And then we'll talk about and where this may reside in the meta and do a retrospective on today's video, my friends. So very excited to cover this. Great ways to connect down below in the description and support the channel. So thank you as always. Let's go ahead and check out our Selesnya counters deck here and see what we got going on. So this version here has a couple of different pieces. We got Swarm Shambler, we got Stone Coil, we got the good old Ozolith here. So as we get creatures removed, those tokens will, the counters will go on to this legendary artifact. We'll be able to replace those elsewhere. We have good old Luminarch, Conclave as a huge engine. We got Pride Malkin here, giving everything trample, so that's a good closer. Additionally, we have Oran Reef. We also have our good old Basri's Lieutenant, Vornaclex to help shut things down, and the Great Henge. So a really nice curve that we have going on, so that's the key. We want to play it on curve. This is pretty aggressive in terms of a deck, so I would align to a good kind of aggro to mid-range here, where you're going to want to play on curve and you want to be aggressive with your opponents and making sure you're hitting those drops with this deck. So that is the strategy and objective with this one. We'll now talk about the boarding here for your best of 3. We do have a number of options, all important in terms of how we align against aggro, mid-range, and late game. So in those aggro matches, we're going to be hitting things like mono red, mono white, mirror match potentially. Also the Winota decks, Naya, Boros, those kinds of things. Will also hit Gruul, Adventures, Magda Gruul, and some of those begin to bridge into mid-range. Here, the biggest things that you want to understand and take a look at, again, for aggro, Ozolith isn't terrible. This is better on board wipers. If you're hitting black, Garruk's Harbinger is going to be a good one. Here, this is destroy target artifact, enchantment, or creature. If you happen to run into some of those flyer decks, this is what you're going to want in there. Chainweb Arachner is more for rogues. Inscription of Abundance. So this one again helps boost your creatures and it fights target creature we don't control. This is a good one against aggro decks because you can clip things, take them off the board, and also get that long-term value. Also, Garruk isn't terrible in the short term in terms of helping you get over the top as well. So a couple of good options there, things to consider actually in this one, in my opinion, are some of the top end pieces. You're actually going to pull the curve down a little bit more. At least that's kind of how I would approach that. I like the Great Henge. You could always look to clip here at the top and think about how you can move in a Garruk or Inscription of Abundance to kind of help you take those things down like we talked about. Then as we move into the mid-range, we covered some of those with the Gruul Adventures, Magda Gruul, and the Winota decks. We'll also face Izzet Tempo, also known as Izzet Dragons. We also have the mono blue deck that we did yesterday. It's kind of a mid-range to late game deck. In this space, additionally, you'll hit the Golgari decks, both Pests, Witherbloom, we have Sacrifice. On top of all those, you're going to hit other traditional sacrifice decks like Rakdos, Rakdos Midrange, and Jund. So there you're going to break it down again between what you're going to hit and how they're playing in this space. Inscription of Abundance isn't terrible. Garruk isn't terrible. Again, Garruk's Harbinger. So just depending on how that aligns, that's how you're going to focus this deck. If they have a lot of removal, I bring in another Ozolith. That way, as they're killing creatures, you have an opportunity to kind of place things, and that will help you out over the late game there. Garruk's a good one to play around with as well because you can still recover and get some of those creatures there for you too. And then as we move out of that matchup, we'll go to late game. These are going to be the Ultimatum decks, Teamer turns, Sultai Ultimatum, additionally Dimmer Control, Azor's Control, Azor's Blank. We have the Orzhov Doom decks all the way to 4-color Doom in this space, including Esper. Additionally, just a whole host of other kind of late range game decks. Here again, you're primarily going to stick to the punch unless you need Broken Wings for some of that control. Also, Karuk's Harbinger, if they have direct kill spells, same with the mid-range. Those could be some nice pickups for you there too. So Rogues, you're going to flip in Chainweb Arachner and go from there, my friends. So that is really how we're going to line up against aggro, mid-range, and late game. Very excited to play this deck. Usually in the past, it's been very smooth. So looking forward to running it here for our Strixhaven, our Strixhaven meta. Now, additionally, the other thing is that we could take a quick look at in terms of considerations on this deck. I think there is a uncommon one that we do just want to take a quick peek at that could be helpful for us in this deck. We have Guiding Voice. You could consider Star Pupil. You could also consider equally in this space any spells that I am missing that you could run relatively quickly here. Any of the stuff that you can pull back from your graveyard in terms of some of the creature based stuff like this one, Leyline, could be a good one for you too in this deck as well. Just a couple of different options there to discuss and take a look at as always. That could be important for you in terms of some of the deck brewing. I just wanted to showcase that quickly here for you. Did I put in uncommon? That's what I was missing. Sorry, I thought I hit that one. In the uncommon spot, this was the one I was looking for. Show of Confidence here. This might be a good one to throw in. We got Basri's Solidarity. It's a better choice because it's each creature versus this one is a +1/+1, but something to consider on your stack as well. That could be a nice option for you. And then we'll take a quick look here at green and see if there's anything else that we may want to add. Nope, I think we're good. So just wanted to call those out there. We're now going to move into our competitive makeup here for today's match. Very excited about that. And we'll go ahead and hop into our best of one. So yesterday we did the Mountain Blue Snow Tempo list. Just check it out. Super fun. Today we're doing Selesnya counters. Let's go ahead and play. This again is a spotlight deck, and why we're doing a top deck here today for the Magic highlights. Platinum to Mythic, 6+ wins. So looking forward to taking on Charlie Zepp here. So let's see what we got going on. We can play this. We got a turn 1 into turn 2. So we'll go with that. We also certainly have our Kalani Ambush here as well. So we'll go white. We'll play our Onsloth. We'll go into Luminarch. And we'll see how we can if we can keep that on the board, my friends. Ideally, that would be the goal. We may run into a problem here if they're going to spike us, which they are, before we even get our counter down. Oh, maybe not. I don't know. All right, they did not spike us. So we are alive. We might get crushed, though, by the Bone Crusher here now. We did not get crushed by the Bone Crusher. So this is nice, minus the fact that we do not have any creature spells. Now, we could have played this too. Oh boy. So ideally what we're going to do is this is an instant speed spell. We will attack. And then we will absolutely do this. Now they're still going to have their good old double strike. here if they want to attack in. All right, so finally, 5. We'll go 5. So we can go to 6. That will evade any double strike. It's already going to evade any double strike. So we'll go with Luminarch. That way as well, if we live through this and they kill Stonecoil, it'll go on Ozolith and we will be able to attack in for lethal. So if they go double strike on Rimrock here, so double strike on Rimrock would, let's see here, give them 8. We would block with stone. All right, so we're good here. So we will absolutely block here. So here's what we got. We do this. We go like this. And we swing in. There's the right block. By 1. Ah, off by 1. They blocked right. They got it. And we don't have enough for Castle Ardenvale, unfortunately. So not much we could have done there. We could have maybe played a little bit slower. But the reality is we didn't have anything on the board to help us. And we needed him to block. Needed them to block our Stonecoil. So very unfortunate there. The best play would have been to have somehow sacked the Luminarch, get those over on the Stonecoil, and hit in for lethal, but that was not what happened for us, unfortunately. So Furin, here it is, off by 1 on the last match. Unfortunate. Here we go. So we got this guy. So we'll keep this again. Struggling right now on the curve, which isn't good. It's happening, but we'll play with it. This is a big one for us. We'll get double up off this. Uh-oh. We might be in a safe zone here. Furin's mulligan twice, so we'll see. Might be a trickery deck. Most likely a trickery deck. Ooh, this could be a problem, actually. Very, very much could be a problem. I told you. Really bad matchup. This is actually worse than mono red for us. So let's do this. We'll go like that. And I'll do this. All right. Now we can get some token gen. No need to actually block here. There they go. Keep this up. Ooh, let's see what they do here. Good thing we waited. So we can double block here. There we go. We are good. We would have picked off Lurrus. Even though they did mulligan twice, we got pretty lucky there in our ability to come back. So that's the big popular mono blacklist right now. One that we certainly should take a look at again. All right, here's what we go. Next match here, best of one, flying fast, going quick. That's one nice thing about this list, is it is fast. Now, we are at the beginning of the season, so a lot of people play fast decks, so this is always a good option for you. All right, so we're first again, which is nice. Doesn't happen often. So we'll see how this goes. We got a 1, 2, and 3. We got the Great Henge. We got some curve going on here, which is really nice. So we'll see what we hit now. One, nada. Now we still have this if we need it. All right, so that's big. I'm not gonna waste it, actually. We need a green. If we have a green, we would hit enter next time. Bummer. We'll flip here. Here comes Winota. Oh, the trigger. Gonna do it for us. That also gives us protection here from Winota. So we need to decide if we're going to lose our Bosries here. They did miss. That's 12. All right. We are dead. They only need 2. They got double in there. It's not gonna matter, my friends. Bummer. Even if we would have blocked, wouldn't have mattered on the one previously. They still got enough through because they had enough drops. So that is Selesnya counters for us here today. We went 1 and 2, not as nice as we'd like to, but it happens. We did miss lethal by 1. And we just could not take down the Winota list. So we're going to go ahead now and play our best of 3 with our Selesnya counters deck. So far, for a best of 1, we went 1 and 2. Now we're going to hop into our best of 3 portion of today's video. We lost to Winota deck. We lost to Mono Red. Very close. But we did have a nice win too, nonetheless, against the Mono Black enchantment deck. So we'll play first. Looks like we got a late game deck. We don't have curve here, so we are going to mulligan. This is better. We're going to drop Forniclex. And here's where we're going to want to go real speedy against Red Wolf here. If we can get this on, this would be a big one for us. So the debate here was doing this. Ideally, we can hit the other Conclave Mentor and get through an attack, and then that's going to boost Oran Reef. So we'll see. Too bad. We weren't fast enough. That would have been so much damage there. So much damage. That would have made this guy a 10-10 and would have been lethal. And in that situation, that's where we're going to want... where we're absolutely going to want our Ozliath. Because all those counters would have gotten there. Makes it easier on the tokens here. We will certainly play this out, because that's what we should do. All right, we're not going to come back from that. It's not going to happen. So we'll go to the next one. Here's what we definitely do want to do, though. We're going to drop our Vorniclexes. Great Henge would be great. We're going to have to be very, very fast. We're going to drop that. We want these guys. Gives us some protection here at the top end. But I would prefer Garruk if we get there. Let's see. So that gets us a little bit more aggressive, which is what we want. We could go this. But I think we'll go one Henge on the top end. All right, here we go. Let's see if we can make this work against our friend here. Shadow's Verdict destroys the deck. And obviously the exile dead. We did have a nice little line going, but again, we get horrible starts. Another horrible start on lands. A little bit better. This is going to go really bad. I would actually keep this over this. I don't know, 2. What do we want to return? 1. We want to get rid of 1 at the 4 drop. Let's go with this. We'll keep Garruk. Horrible start for us. So good news is we have some protection here. No direct kills are going to take it off. They have to exile the board. Cultivator it is, but we're going to drop Garruk. We can also do this. I think we do this first. And then we'll get a pull. Get another. Wow, look at that. 7. We get 1 card. That's pretty bad. Pretty bad. So they're very close here to what they need. And these are both odds. So pretty quickly, they're going to be able to shut me down. Can't block till next turn. Right, so let's see what we can grab. Wow, look at that again. Very impressive. Very impressive. That's some really bad luck. We would have loved to grab another Garruk. It's so bad. So bad. There's Elrune for them. All right, that is going to be a good game because we are not coming back from that. So unfortunate here today with our Selesnya counters deck, sending us backwards. Boom, boom, boom. It happens. So let's go ahead and talk about today's deck. Very, very fun. I like the Selesnya counters mechanic. Probably stronger than best of one, honestly, than best of three right now. But this was a Platinum to Mythic 6+ win, so certainly it does have the ability to do well. We definitely struggled with the mulligans, as you saw the land hands, and then additionally Garruk was like struggling to find stuff. So 7 and 5, just 2 creatures out of that were the 1/1s. Not really helpful, not really building our board state. So it certainly happens. We missed on the mono red by 1 life. So close, so close. So anyway, in best of 1, we went 1 and 2. Best of 3, we got crushed by Sultai Ultimamatum. Really going 0 and 2 there. There's certainly other things that you could consider in terms of your sideboard options here. Nonetheless, this deck is fairly quick. We saw that today. It's kind of boom or bust. And additionally, that if you like fast matches, that's nice. Where does this sit in the meta? So in terms of best of 1, we know that there's a lot of domination on the top end right now. We lost to some of those better key decks. I would say this is bottom of tier 2, potentially tier 3. Best of 3, I would say this is probably tier 3 right now. So certainly great ways to play around this. It's going to struggle against some of those later game decks, particularly the fact that Ultimatum is still heavily played in best of 3. We saw how badly we got crushed. So it's a race. We didn't win the race. Can you win the race? Yes, but we were not on curve here today, unfortunately, to make that happen. So with that said, Planeswalkers, if you enjoyed today's video, flip me a like. Hope you like the deck. Certainly something you can play in the meta, and used to be a very, very popular deck. Glad to see it getting some love and some action here once again. If you got questions, if you got comments, let me know down below in the description. Feel free to hop in the Discord server. That's there for you too. Other great ways for us to connect, support the channel. Thank you as always. Stay tuned, Planeswalkers, for other top decks. We got a lot more coming up. We also have our Friday Night Meta series, Twitch active streaming on YouTube as well. And last but not least, our tier list. So feel free to check those out. So Planeswalkers, until next time, you stay safe. We'll see you again soon. Mythras out.